Okay. I think Twitch has sound now. Signy, am I back? I apologize. That was silly. What a silly song. Should we try again? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, but I'll try to find out for you. Okay. What are we here for? The weekly news. So here's the thing. I titled this the weekly news. Now I'm talking to Twitch. Instagram, I love you. Come join me over at Twitch. Twitch.tv/VeeFriends. Twitch, I'm sorry I was late. I don't know what else to say. There's so much going on right now. I'm thrilled to be here with you. Thank you for your attention, for your time, and for your support. We have a lot to talk about. It is 8:36 p.m. Eastern time. The weekly news will begin in the clubhouse at 9 p.m. In the meantime, I'm going to sing like a lunatic and tell you about the VFam DAO. Instagram, you've already got this news. You might as well come join me over at Twitch. You don't need an account. Twitch.tv/VeeFriends. I'll see you there. I love you. Will you join me? There's 10 people here, and I would like to see those 10 people here. Is that possible? I'll wait. Y'all. Where do we begin? I'm not even ready for the weekly news. I'm frazzled. I'm overcome with emotion. You missed the first song where my mic was turned off. But God, you guys, this is such a remarkable moment, and I'm trying to like appreciate it, I guess. Like, I know that I could come to this with a completely different energy. I could like keep it a little more controlled. I don't think anybody's following me because I'm not rough around the edges. And oops, I meant to pin that comment, but deleted it. It's funny because all of these live streams get archived on YouTube, and I can only imagine that nobody has the patience to watch the YouTube archives of this. What's up, Chaotic Mango? What's up, everybody? Instagram, there's 7 of you here. You should be joining me on twitch.tv/VeeFriends. Let me get my Twitch up. Let me hang out with Twitch. Hydrate. I've got to go fill up my water. Will you guys give me the patience? Chris Conley from the Texans bought a VeeFriend. Let's fucking go. RIP the audio. Why am I so bad at having the audio on? Glad Drovig's here. 13 viewers in the house. Like I said, 20 minutes of singing like a lunatic, and then we'll get to the weekly news. I'm going to get some water. I'll be right back. Instagram, you have the pleasure of still hearing my voice because I have my headphones in. I'll remind you again that the Instagram stream is ending within the next 87 seconds, and you should come over to Twitch because that's where the action is right now. You know, I think I need a little bit of reset. Okay, let's just reset the room. Can we reset the room? Everyone back to 1. Hi, my name's Jeremy, and today I feel at a loss for words. I feel that the number of direct messages I have replied to today is at a scale that I have never dealt with before, and I'm humbled to be at the epicenter of a community effort to raise funds in Ethereum to bid on one-of-a-kind artwork at Christie's. I would like to give you the story. I would like to give you all the details. I need to tell you first that there are 3 hours left to fill out the form and participate in this effort. You can find the form at vfamdao.com. Jump into my Discord, and I imagine that there will be people there who can assist you if you have questions. Please be educated. Please be educated before you send your money. But at this point, with 3 hours remaining, I would highly suggest that you fill out the form so you have until tomorrow afternoon to submit your contribution. Contribution for what? contribution to the VFam DAO. This is not I'm willing to bid at Christie's, but I don't want to be a part of the future. There's no refunds involved. By sending your money, you're committing to allow a collective majority vote of those who have contributed to the same pool to dictate what is the best use of those funds. I am not the decision maker. I do not have a majority voting power. I don't even have the maximum 5% that can be had. I don't know what percentage I have because we haven't finished the fund yet. But let's say that we have 100 ETH and you've contributed 1 ETH, then you have 1% ownership of the DAO and 1% voting power. If you contributed 0.1 ETH, you have 0.1% ownership of the DAO and 0.1% voting power. It's all proportional. Ayush, I love that you're up at 5 a.m. and watching the stream. Please remember to hydrate, stretch, and take care of yourself. Okay, I'm glad you just woke up and you haven't been up all night. Instagram, I love you. We're still live here because you should be on Twitch. This is a reminder to be on Twitch. You guys, I should, like, if I wasn't live, I would feel like I just need to, like, sit and slow down. But time is of the essence. Like, I wish I had, like, some brilliant speech prepared. I don't. I just want to get the word out. I feel like there's dozens of people that I want to be a part of this, and I haven't had the capacity to, like, reach out directly and share, because we only came to the terms of what we felt was legally advisable and properly educating people on what this opportunity was just like 4 days ago. And in those 4 days, we have raised nearly 100 ETH. Like, the power of this community is, like, so mind-boggling to me. I probably should have, like, gone to the bathroom and drank water and, like, thought about what I was going to say, but I just went live immediately because I promised you I would be live at this time. I expect a lot is going to change in the next week, and I will do my best to be transparent with you and honest and still keep you up to date on VeeFriends. I'm fully committed to that. But things are moving and changing very fast. And so I appreciate your patience in every regard. Would somebody please ask me a question in the chat, because I feel like I am lost at sea. Who is going to bid on the DAO's behalf? I am. The DAO has entrusted me with that responsibility. I will be bidding online and on the phone with a representative from Christie's for that live connection. And we will bid up to our capacity, pot committed, to get one of these art pieces. At which point, if we win, the DAO will send from a multi-signature wallet the assets to my personal wallet so that they can be purchased. Please ask me more questions. I need some structure. It's when we win. When we win. I'm really starting to feel like we have a chance, and it's crazy. Can you join CA during bidding? What does that mean, Simple Habits? Can you join CA? I'm not sure what that means. In California? What? I don't know. Okay, we're back. I love the questions. What did I have for lunch today? Today for lunch, I had actually a really delicious mashed potatoes, baked carrots, and chicken. It was phenomenal. Phenomenal. If you contributed more, can you add more before the deadline? Yes, but only before the deadline. Sir, where are we able to view the live auction? The live auction will be available on Christie's.com. I will do my best to have it available as well here on Twitch, a screen share of that auction. Great. I thought it was an IRL bidding and a physical presence like old school. There is physical bidding at Christie's, but due to COVID restrictions, it's easier to do it online. What will we see if we are watching, or how do we hear or watch the auction? Great question, Kathy. It is available on Christie's.com. You don't have to be a bidding member to watch, and it'll look like, I'm not sure if they'll have a video. I've never watched a live bid, so I'm not really sure. I don't know if they'll show the hall where they have like these different tiered seatings, and there's like someone at the front of the room that's announcing the art piece and doing the whole spiel of like $50,000, $50,000 to Hong Kong. Can I get $70,000? $70,000 to Jeremy. Okay, $70,000. Do I have $80,000? $80,000 in Detroit. Okay, thank you, Detroit. $80,000. It's at $80,000. Do I see $90,000? Jeremy for $90,000. That whole spiel. Then the hammer goes, and then we pay 25% on top of whatever the hammer price is, the auction bidding, the winning bid price. And I imagine they'll show that whole shebang. Otherwise, it'll be like tiles on a screen with live updates of the price of the auction. I don't know. Drofig asks, top 3 non-VeeFriend related projects you're eyeing right now. Great question. Well, definitely Eternal Royals is like at top of mind because you've got Mikey, you've got Kevin, you've got like directly on the team. A bunch of people are hyped on it. Bryce, me, I'm on the whitelist. I'm very excited. I'm not sure if I'm going to have the ETH to mint as many as I wanted, but you know, I'm more bullish on the DAO. So I would say Eternal Royals. I bought Frogland. Disclosure: I bought this. I bought Frogland.io, which is Notorious Frogs on OpenSea. And that's a very interesting project. It's a metaverse-based project where when you own a frog, you actually get land with that frog. And the guy behind it is like, has a very clear idea. There's like a nice story behind it that they're building out. Frogland.io is bullish. And the third one, I mean, I'm watching Grills Gang. I haven't really been able to check in with Grills Gang. I know they revealed today. You know, I guess all the PLPs, like I still think Dapper Dinos is probably a good buy. Like their floor has been very consistent. And I was in one of their AMAs yesterday, and it sounds like they've really just got like good DNA. And the reason I say that is because they're being communicative about what they're doing. You know, people want to know if they have commercial rights, and they're not outright saying they are because they're keeping that as like leverage to negotiate with studios because they want to make a children's cartoon. They did this Karma Collective drop, which was huge liquidity for people. Like I got one, and I'm not wanting to sell it because I'm so excited to see what's inside of it. And that might be a mistake, but that's beside the point. Like they're taking care of their holders. Grills Gang also got a really good vibe from the creative director. And I know it was like a kind of a big mess the way that their drop happened for a lot of people, but I actually really appreciated the way that they handled it. I know it wasn't perfect and a lot of people were confused and the slow mode was frustrating, but I thought that they did it in an equitable way. And I haven't really gone deep on the drop, but I like the art. And it makes sense to me that Gary picked that project because it's all IP based around a single character. Like if you haven't looked into the drop, which is the third PLP project from VeeFriends, 350 are airdropping on October 15th to VeeFriends holders. And as soon as it was announced, the floor skyrocketed because they've already sold the first round. There is a public minting for the second round, which are more rare. And all 3 tiers of rarity are being airdropped to VeeFriends holders, which is fucking great. And yeah, it's all based around this one character called the drop, and every NFT is a derivative of that character. So one character, one story, one IP, I really like. But beyond PLP, you know, Eternal Royals, and Eternal Royals on Twitter, Frogland.io on Twitter, and Jenkins the Writer's Room. Who has gotten in to Jenkins the Writer's Room? As soon as I saw this project, I was like floored. I was like, this is such an amazing idea. Basically, you have this guy with a Bored Ape that has a valet outfit on, and he's named his ape Jenkins the Valet. And he created a project where you have different NFTs that represent different levels of votes, and the entire community of holders dictates the book that they are going to write and create. And this guy is on fire. Like as a creative artist, I'm so bullish on this guy. Also because I was in a Q&A with him and like I really liked what he had to say. He is, oh man, this is such a cool project. I saw it. I had no ETH. I had to save to get 0.07 ETH and I got in. Now the floor is like 0.3 and I think it's super underrated. It might be down to like 0.25. It's super underrated because every single project, whether you get, so like the floor for 5 votes is 0.25. The floor for 10 votes is like 0.6. Then the floor for 50 votes, the valet stand. And then there's also the We're All Gonna Make It yacht, which are selling for like 15 ETH. And there's so many cool things about this project because there's equal profit share from whatever is created given to the holders. Plus, you get to participate in the creation of the story itself. Plus, you get to license your NFTs that you own commercial rights to into the book, and you get paid for that licensing fee. And if you have the We're All Gonna Make It yacht, which is the top tier, you're guaranteed to have your character in there. So the first like book is all for Bored Ape Yacht Club and Mutants, but they're going to be doing other collections down the road, that, like Cool Cats, maybe Lazy Lions. They haven't really announced yet. And this guy got his ape to be represented by CAA, which you're probably not familiar with, but CAA is like one of the biggest, if not the biggest talent agency in Hollywood. And they're representing this guy's ape. So bullish on that project. Yeah, I'll drop a link so that folks can be safe. Again, disclosure, I do hold one of these tokens. I wish I held more, but it's just a liquidity thing. Like I could buy one more at the floor. I mean, let's see what the floor is right now. Maybe I should open this in a share screen. Sharing the link. That's the link to the collection on OpenSea. Let me go here and share my screen. So this one. So this is the oh yeah, the floor's down to 0.22. That's awesome. So like the floor was like 0.07, 0.01 just a few days ago. And so this ticket gives you 5 votes, but then there's also the yacht key, which is 10 votes. The floor is, about double because it's double votes. Then there's the Jenkins stand, which is this. The floor is 3.15. And then there's the We're All Gonna Make It yacht, which is pretty great. And this one guarantees you. So these have been bought for some pretty hefty pennies. So anyway, really bullish on that project. You're just looking, you're looking at my tabs, like I'm watching Dapper Dinos. You guys should get over to Twitch. The reason we shifted to Twitch is because of this exact reason for visual aid. So Dapper Dino's floor has actually dropped a little bit. I'm not sure what the reason for that is. It doesn't really matter. Like this dude, like why is this guy selling at a loss from 0.475 to 0.3? Like honestly, if money wasn't an issue, I'd buy that right now. None of this is financial advice, just to be completely clear. And then the second collection that I mentioned is, they renamed it, huh? Dapper Dino. There, Karma Collective. And this is wild. Like they gave people this for burning a dino, and they've been selling at 2 ETH like all day long. Huge volume traded. So I'm also watching Jenkins. I'm also watching this. Nobody bid me up on this. I am for sure buying this. If I can. I haven't bid on it yet because there's still 2 days. That's my wallet. Let's refresh. I haven't even looked at my so these are my Frogland. I got really lucky, got this guy. Oh, this guy's cool. This guy's cool. He doesn't look very rare, but he's cool. I'm also watching Avastars right now. Yeah, I'm watching Grills Gang. How's the Grills Gang floor? 0.45. I mean, that's basically what the pre-reveal was. So interesting. Yeah, I haven't dived into this collection yet. I like the art. But I'm not sure I like the collection. Do you know what I mean? Like, I like the concept of the art. Like this is cool. Like, some of them are really clean. Clearly, the white background is not very rare. Looks like this blue background might be. Oh, nice. I like this attribute. Oh, that one's fun. Oh, that one's really fun. Yeah, so I haven't gotten to look at the collection yet. Maybe I do like the collection. I feel like this pink background's probably a little rare. This one's dope. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. What else am I watching? Nifty League. I was looking at this. There's so many things to look at. This one's interesting. Nifty-league.com. We can get back to the DAO. We have like 5 minutes. This is one where you actually get to, I don't know. So it's not really minted yet. This one's way higher risk. These are anonymous developers, but you can actually design whatever character you want. So like if I wanted an ape, I can choose the skin, whatever. And the inside, the fur, like let's go albino on it, like black eyes, pupils, I could do this. And this character is Satoshi, and I just hit mint. Well, I'm not connected, but if I was connected, I could hit mint and I can mint this exact one. So that's pretty cool. 10,000K project. I'm watching the price of gas. Okay. I think I've satisfactorily answered that question. Thank you for the question, Drofik. Going back, I guess he means we can watch the live bidding. Yes. Auction happens sequentially, so we can't bid on more than one piece. Yeah, back to the DAO. Instagram, I'm going to peace out because I feel bad that I'm not paying attention to you. But thank you for being here. We're on Twitch. I'm just aware of my energy. My energy is so frantic. It doesn't need to be that frantic, but it just feels like so many things are happening all at once. So the way that the pieces are being auctioned is 5 pieces, one at a time, one after the other. It'll happen very fast. Like each lot will probably be between 2 to 5 minutes, depending on how many competitors there are. And it'll go empathetic elephant, gratitude gorilla, diamond hands hen, you're gonna die fly, and the tremendous tiger last. So we'll be able to bid on the elephant. If we lose, we go to the next, to the next, to the next. If we win, we're not going to go for a second one. We talked about this today. And I mean, if there's a situation where it's like 10 to 20% of our pot, then I think we can try to make an on the fly decision. Like we have one more meeting. God, I can't believe this. We have one more meeting tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. in the Discord. But here's the thing. You can come to the Discord meeting tomorrow and like get educated, but you can't contribute unless you fill out the form, which I will link for you by midnight tonight. And like, oh my God, we have 200 responses on this form. That is absolutely remarkable. Wow, 200 responses on this form. Now I have to check the wallet. What's the wallet at? The wallet is, yeah, we've actually gotten another 0.7 during this stream. We're almost at a clean 90 ETH. So here's the link to the Google form. It's also at VeeFriends.com. What's the minimum to invest in the DAO? Frezzy, it's 0.1 ETH. Everything is most of these basic questions are addressed in the form. Yes, Ayush, we have to pay. Christie's has a 25% fee on top of the hammer price. Are you going to apply for the PLP for achievement unlocked? Yes. Yes, of course. Whether or not I will wait for the PLP to confirm depends on if I can get like a direct line. Like I'm not ready to apply, but if I will be ready to apply, let's say in like 3 or 4 weeks, and I want to launch 3 or 4 weeks later, and that gives them enough lead time and we can have a conversation, then I will. But, also the drop, they minted before their PLP drop. So maybe that'll happen. But, I think I don't want to sell myself short. I just not sure that my project is the scale or the reputability of a project that they're looking for with the PLP. Ayush, what did you want me to link? Chaotic Mango, thank you for the cheers. Jenkins Valet, we talked about that. Yes, CAA is a big deal, and they're backing the Jenkins project. It's super bullish. And I've been tweeting about this project since it was at 0.07. So just remember I told you. Are you watching Skydrip yet? Ayush, I asked you to let me know when it goes live, and I didn't get a message. So I take that very, very personally. Let's look at Skydrip. Oh, we're late for the clubhouse. There's so many things going on. Skydrip NFTs. I see your Twitter. I see skydripnfts.com. So here you are. Da-da-dum. This is a project that Ayush, who's in the chat now, created with other members of the community. And we did a whole like hour-long interview about this project. It's very, very interesting. Basically buying the sunglasses, which is it's not an NFT project, it's an NFT platform. And the Secret Society has this whole like story behind it that you get to be a part of by owning the NFT. And the art is pretty dope, done by Astrid. So here it is. And these are actually, they're not only NFTs, but they're also, so different tiers have different access. You know, we're pretty familiar with, but they're also AR filters. So you get an AR filter of your sunglasses. So pretty cool concept. And the entry point. Oh, we got a review. We got a sneak peek. If you go to the YouTube archive of this, you can actually see the artwork. But okay, I should get over to Clubhouse. I have a battery in my pocket. I don't need this. One thing at a time. Club deck. Update is in progress. Be patient. Excuse me. Logging on to Clubhouse. Text me the code. 421. So the way this works for Clubhouse and our weekly news is you should be able to hear this. Let me know if you can hear. Hey everybody, I'm gonna mute myself for a bit while I talk to Twitch. Oh, did I hear my ears ringing? Sorry, yep. I'm a little late. I'm gonna mute myself for a minute while I get Twitch over here. Give me just a sec. So Twitch, were you able to hear that?
That's awesome. I heard they
was the audio set up
a bit past
fine?
5 p.m.
Can I just get a little
Yeah,
let's see. Apply now. The lead time is more than 4 weeks right now. Ask Phantom Chase. Yeah, see, I'm not quite ready to apply. Can I get an affirmative that the sound from Clubhouse works? You should be able to hear them right now, actually.
And he was doing part of it because of the room tonight that a lot of people, might not have heard about it, and that because this has a
it looks like it's working.
He could talk about it tonight and maybe get some additional people involved.
So here's how it works.
The last count was we just peaked 90 ETH.
You can watch me here as you listen on Clubhouse, or you can come into Clubhouse
like
and chat.
Yeah, it's like right on the edge.
We're gonna do the weekly news.
Yeah, crazy.
Then I'm gonna jam for a little longer, and I have to sign off when my partner gets home. I have to spend some time with her.
Confidence.
I don't want to make it sound like we never spend time together, but like I really need to spend time with her tonight.
I mean, great. Definitely. I think that's so true. And no matter what, it's playing power for even like things in Gary's wallet. It's crazy.
What's good, everybody? Happy Wednesday.
Hey.
Hello.
Wow, full room. Nice to see everybody. I didn't mean to stop the conversation. What are we chatting about?
Just how the 5 p.m. Got extended for tonight, and it's so great.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, so scanning the room, it looks like most people. Oh, hey Tyler, good to see you. Tyler down in the audience is a close personal friend of mine, and he got airdropped this dino, and I literally like gasped when I saw it. Such a sick dino. Hey Tyler.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, it's sick.
Yeah. So most people have heard about the DAO, but I'll just give like a really quick 101. Join my Discord. It's now the VFam Discord. VFamDAO.com has a link to the Discord and the form. The form is due by midnight in order to participate. I really want to be careful about like breeding any kind of FOMO, but at this point with 3 hours to go, I would kind of recommend either doing the research quick or filling out the form and then deciding afterward if you want to contribute, because the contribution can be received up until 1 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. But your form, I will stop receiving responses to the form at midnight. So it's happened really suddenly, and like I really wish we could have had more lead time to spread the word, because in a matter of like 4 or 5 days, we're starting to tease 100 ETH in the community vault. But that's sort of the 2-second version. And
So
I know many people in the room have already contributed. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
And that's not even the biggest news this week.
No, it is not, but it's up there.
Yeah, maybe in hindsight it will be viewed as the biggest news at the end of September, but we'll see.
Maybe in 3 years from now as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just amazed. It's crazy to think. I mean, the possibility that the community would own one of these, and it would just speak to also just the message of VeeFriends and what it's about, which is the community and the people. To have actually a part of that journey is definitely exciting.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that.
You, Jeremy, I can't thank you enough, and just everybody that's been, putting this together, because I know you've had to speak to attorneys and the whole lot. So it's been a lot to put this in motion.
Yes, it has.
Yeah.
Thank you. The other reason I'm glad you said that is because we discussed for a minute, like, does it undermine Gary's action to have them auctioned at Christie's and invite a new market into the space to have the community take it? You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't think so, because I mean, you're still gonna have people competing. I mean, hey, obviously we want to own one, right? But in a way, it would also be kind of a good thing if we got outbid, right? For that reason, because then it shows that there's interest outside of the community. Obviously, we want one because we support Gary Vee and we support what he's doing and we understand the project.
Yeah.
That would be a really strong testament to really what is being built here, which is the realization that this project is going to become a lot bigger than what we are right now. Still, I mean, I think we have a really solid chance of getting one. And I do think, there will be a few that will be purchased, by others. And that'll also kind of speak to the reality, which is that VeeFriends is growing even amongst the art community.
I agree. And something like we probably won't be able to get all of them. I mean, there's 5. So I do think there's a huge chance that we would get one, and that would show the strength of the community. And obviously the other 4 would sell. And man, how crazy would it be if we were the highest bid?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still wanting to like sort of temper my own expectations. Like, while like we don't know if like my personal ambition at the start was like a 6-figure bid is serious. Now we're playing with multiple 6 figures, and I want to believe that we have a really good chance, but it's not wild to consider that the minimum they'll go for is 300,000. We really don't know who's going to show up. And what's so interesting and challenging about this is it's not like the Bored Apes where they get auctioned over the course of a week. They go one after the other in one day. Like the whole lot of 5 will probably take a total of 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. So we're not going to have a lot of time to like regroup and reassess our bidding strategy if the first one goes for like 500,000 or something.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of, anybody that's gone in, that's kind of part of it. You just have to be aware that anything can happen, and that's part of it. But I definitely think we have a strong bid here, a strong chance. And, worst case scenario, we've created a DAO that will likely hold something valuable, if not this, then something else. Like there's still value there.
Yeah, totally. And that much isn't even likely. That's guaranteed. It's just a matter of what and when and for how long and all that, and why. Even more importantly, why do we hold it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and hopefully this shows how much we do support Gary. That everybody, I'm surprised that we were able to, especially you, Jeremy, you went above and beyond, and along with all the other team members, to really do this very quickly and amass a large sum of contributions. And to do it, I think it just speaks to all of us wanting to support him and what he's doing, and show that we as a community, I think it'd been almost worse if we didn't get something together to try to at least participate. We might not win, but show that we care enough to participate, that he means a lot to us, and that we want to show our support in a big way, not just a little effort. But this was a big, huge effort, and you guys should be commended, because it is a lot of legal work. It's a lot of questions, and y'all really had to go to task to get that taken care of in such a short period of time. I really didn't think y'all could do it. And I mean, it just props to you all for the hard work you've put in just daily, nonstop, getting this taken care of, for real.
Yeah, I love you put it that way too, because I actually got my first DM response from Gary this week, and I replied, like, I sent him photos of the Christie's art that I had taken myself, and he sent a smiley. He said, "So cool," and he said something like "unbelievable" or no, whatever he said. I replied, "We care," and hopefully we'll be competitive. And then today I got another reply from him, and I told him that I think he'd be very proud of how these conversations are developing within the DAO, and told him that we crossed 6 figures last night, and he said beyond, as in beyond proud. Yeah,
and I saw that. That's pretty awesome that he acknowledges all the work that you've put into this, and hopefully what the success that will follow, whether it be so sick or otherwise.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure, maybe either way, but I think for sure when we win, I think he'll join the Discord.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I think it's almost, nothing's a given, but I do think that it would be likely, because it would absolutely catch his attention. It'd be like, okay. I mean, it's already caught his attention. But if we win, that would be.
You have to imagine that he's going to reach out to each individual who buys a piece.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Can you imagine we win and he's like, so it's amazing that you guys did this. Like, let's find some time in a couple weeks where I can do like an AMA on your Discord or something. He like wants to spend some time with us. That would be amazing.
That would be awesome. And it's not that crazy, like, honestly, because if I had a piece of work and there were people that bid on it and won the bids, I would be inclined to want to at least have a conversation with those that were willing to, make that investment into my work. So I think it would probably be the same thing, whether it be, speaking to, the people at the top of the DAO, the people who put it together, so you and whoever else, and also maybe with the Discord. I'm certain Gary will do something. And of course, he's so community centric. I think he, as he said, he's beyond proud. He's beyond proud of what we've been able to do, and what I imagine we'll continue to do with whatever we decide to do moving forward, with this organization.
And I think it's also a chance, like, he supported us and educated us so much throughout our journey. This was a huge climax for him, because he said, my parents, they came from nothing, and they worked their way up, and they would never dream of Christie's, as far as, especially me as a son, being able to be there. So this is a milestone for him, and it's us having a chance to say, we're proud of you and everything you've done, because he's given so much to us. It's us being able to say, hey, we recognize this for you, and we're super proud of you, and this is just our way of saying thank you for all the support you've given to us. We want to support you back in this major milestone for him and his family.
Yes.
It's truly the perfect example of what blockchain is and what the DAO is, that we didn't even know each other. How many months ago? 4 months ago, we weren't even knowing each other's names, and now we are forming a DAO. That's unbelievable, with 6 figures in it, and we're bidding at Christie's. That's wild. Unbelievable. That is so crazy. Wild. I mean, Gary has to be thinking, my God, this is even more than he could have imagined. I mean, it's amazing how tight the community is. Super exciting.
Yep.
Well, I want to say I'm proud of each and every member. In my opinion, we've already won. Just because we have more work to do doesn't mean we haven't won. The mere fact of accomplishing the option is a win. And also, too, if for another perspective here, I think having a group come up with 100,000 is way more impressive than one person, because that group, that money's more powerful because you have a lot of tentacles, a lot of eyes and ears. And whether or not a piece of art is bought tomorrow or the day after, I think it's the 1st of October, to me, the DAO will have, if you really study what a DAO is, I mean, you're basically providing oversight in a non-regulated industry. And that's the number one thing that slows business down, is they're like, this is not regulated, we're not letting people do. So this project is almost like self-manifesting rules and regulations at a high level. They're not even being opposed upon it. And later on down the road, that will make tremendous difference in credibility and validity.
I'm sure this is just the first of a million amazing things that this group will be doing together.
I sure hope so.
Like that. Yeah, this reminds me of our Hangout Hot group that me and Signe and are in, and I know Josh is in, and the community that we're forming here, man, guys, this is special. This is good stuff, man. I love what I'm hearing here. I think it's exactly what this whole project, this whole NFT world is all about. Is forming the good guys. We're a good guys club. There's gonna be a lot of bad guys out there. We're just gonna have to stick together. And we're going to have to weather the storm, because the storm's coming. We're just going to have to weather it and stick together, man. I'm proud of you guys.
Speaking of bad guys, if there is high-level investment or bidding strategy, it should probably be behind closed doors and not in a group when anyone can just listen in.
Yeah, that's fair. It's been semi-public in my Discord so far. Yeah, we did consider that.
What's done is not done, but you know what I mean. The real stuff happens with the hours before the auction. That's when it really goes down. So, I mean, there should be a certain time limit. I don't know if it's T 6 hours, T 5 hours, T 8 hours, where like it goes silent, and whoever's I don't know who's at the top of this group or the leaders are, but they have to have a thing where it's like, we have to be okay if they go a little dark. As far as communication, we're going to find out in the day anyway. But that way, our strategy doesn't work because the opponent knows the strategy. Because let's face it, there's only 5 pieces of art, and a lot more than 5 people want them.
Well, isn't the strategy just to like bid it until you get one? Keep bidding it up, and the worst case scenario, if they all sell for
it's a little bit more complicated than that, because Sal literally had information on other bidding groups, which I'm not going to reveal. So obviously, there's some cat and mouse game being played.
Yeah, I know, but if each one of them go for over what we have, I mean, that's still going to be a win for us, because then we push the value up.
It's a no-brainer, because we did everything we could, and it wouldn't even matter. Yeah. And I mean, for all we know, we could just be driving up the price for Gary's art, and dollars sitting around.
Yeah, you make a good point. We do. There is more to the bidding strategy than simply going all in, right? But we're kind of going in with the expectation that we are a lot of small fish pretending to be a very large fish, and now that imagination is starting to become real, but we don't know if the real whale is going to show up for this opportunity or something else, because mind you, this is just a small part of a whole day of very valuable art being auctioned. And this is just on the menu for people who are used to bidding at Christie's. There will be bidders that come out specifically for this, like us. But we just don't know who's going to show up. And what the wild thing is, like, we won't know the competition until that first bid goes down. And we don't know how many folks are not going to participate in the first bid and are only interested in like the hen or the fly,
I had a question, and I apologize if it's been answered somewhere else, because maybe I wasn't following the train too closely. But if in the event, that a piece of art is successfully acquired, where's that art piece going?
That art piece is going to a safe house, temperature controlled in Delaware.
LOL.
I know. The thing is, if I pick it up in New York City, we have to pay a 9% sales tax on top of whatever we pay. So for every $100,000 we pay, we're paying $9,000 just to pick it up. They have said that we can go view it in person before shipping it. So we can go take a look, take pictures, celebrate, and then it will be shipped to Delaware to one of these places where art is stored. I think we pay, we talked about the figures today. It's like a little over, I think, $100 a month to have it stored with a fee going in and going out. And it'll be kept safe there until we can find a museum to partner with that will display it and make it available to the public, or there are options, but that's sort of one of the leading suggestions.
Nice,
because there's no sales tax in Delaware. The reason it's going to Delaware.
On display at VeeCon.
That's we talked about that. So just to be clear, like there's no sales tax in Delaware. That's why it's going there and not somewhere else. But yeah, we talked about having Minnesota be the first place that is displayed, which would be amazing, but would also need to be coordinated with VeeCon itself because we have to ensure the security. We also have to pay to insure this thing. So like, logistics can come later, but it's not as simple as like going to Delaware to get it or shipping it to me and I fly with it there. Like that's not how it's going to work. We'd have to really think that through, but it would be amazing to have it displayed at VeeCon.
Have it show up. Have it show up in a Brinks truck, man, with a guy with like a briefcase and like a handcuffs. You ever seen those like old movies? Where
like the nuclear football, like that sort of situation.
Yeah, and then we could open up the thing and a light can come out and be like, whoa!
And then the movie that Gary's gonna make all the money off of is a heist movie where we steal the art.
There you go.
Wow.
Now we're talking.
The fuddled burglar.
I love it.
Yeah, I mean that's another thing that we addressed but haven't like made formal votes on is like, well, if you own 0.1% of this thing, can you hold it? Like at VeeCon, can you touch it? Or do we?
I don't want anyone touching it.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
You can look at it with your own eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's coming in a PSA holder, man. It's no big deal. I mean, like I got a bunch of PSA cards at home. Like you can touch those things. It ain't no big deal.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
can we hold it after eating McDonald's with the grease on our fingers?
Yeah. Yep. You can still do that. Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, we have gloves on hand so people can put on gloves to hold it or something. Or we put it in like a jewelry box. I don't know.
What we should do is get a group photo with Gary and everybody that can be at VeeCon that's like owns even a small part of it. Doesn't matter. I say
Great
everybody
fact. Everybody that gave $1 should be in that photo.
Yes.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And then we'll mint the photo.
There you go.
OMG.
POAP.
Exactly.
By the way, we are going to have a POAP tomorrow for the close of the Dow first collecting fund, and it's going to be this little temporary logo we have here by Cassidy Benson.
And here's a little fun.
Go ahead.
Here's a fun little market disruption fact. Even if we don't win, we could probably approach Gary on a one-on-one basis, and he could do a direct sale to us on one of the arts that's not even available yet.
Somebody mentioned that, and I think you're right.
Yeah, that's a great point.
And then we can vote on which piece we want. So we're increasing the chances of the highest amount of people being satisfied, at least in the beginning.
Well, I would vote for Patient Pig, I think.
He's going to want that to go to market though, the highest bidder. I mean,
yeah, you're right.
So like, and again, we want to be able to
go. There go.
We want to be able to always be the highest bidder. So like, if everybody goes up top of us, it's not a bad thing. Again, remember this. What'd you say, Jeremy? What'd you say you have like 100 ETH right now?
Almost 90.
So what is that? 300 grand. So let's just say we got 300 grand.
How much does it cost to actually bid?
25% of your bid. What do you mean? How much does it cost?
Exactly what you just said.
Yeah, so on top of whatever you pay, you have a 25% fee over your hammer price, which is the price of the bid that wins.
I would go as far as saying getting outbid is actually the ideal scenario if your number one concern is the value of the project.
Yeah, we want to get outbid. I think you should just put the gas pedal down, drive up the bids, and if we don't get one, we don't get one. I mean, like, at the end of the day, you're only going to be able to bid 230,000. Pay the fee. Pay the fee of like $75,000, and hopefully have some money left over for storage and insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't, Big Fish will float the bill for the $100 a month rent. I'm not too worried about that. But
right.
Does that come with insurance when you put it in the storage facility?
You have to ask our lead on that. I don't think he's in the room.
All right, that's good question to know. I mean, because if it does, you can at least.
I think it does.
Not have to worry about the insurance part of it, right away. If it's, obviously, and if it goes to a museum, I'm sure the museum has some type of overarching policy to where if it's stored there, you don't have to pay a small fee.
Mm-hmm.
So you might not have to get your own special policy as long as it's always protected by whoever's got it in their hands.
Exactly.
Also, this is something I've heard. I haven't verified, so it just might be urban legend. But I've heard of stories of art galleries actually trading art. In other words, we've been displaying this for 3 years. You've been displaying this for 3 years. Why don't we give our audience something to work with? And that's another little just value of having a high-priced asset. You know what I mean? Like, not only do you get to be a part of a tremendous tiger, but maybe you get to put your eyes on a Van Gogh that's temporarily yours until the exchange goes back.
Maybe we could trade this thing up and maybe get the Mona Lisa.
That's where I was going. That's the plan the whole time, bro.
I was I was this close to spitting my water out when you said that.
Let's make some moves and let's get that Mona Lisa under wraps.
Yeah.
This is just
the tremendous tiger is actually. I kind of almost hope that's the one we get. Being how Sal's got one. Like that would be kind of cool.
That would be cool.
It's my number one target.
Really? I think my number one is the elephant, but I think for the DAO, the gratitude gorilla is best.
Those are my top three. And then the least interesting is the fly. But part of me still is starting to warm up to the fly because if we buy his least desirable piece of art at a high price, that's a high floor.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, there's also the story component. Like, it dawned on me today that when we win, like, somebody's gonna write this story up. Like, I might be interviewed by the New York Times next week. You know what I mean?
I was thinking that.
And are you gonna be a press guy?
Well, I mean, hopefully we can do it together.
NFT, the NFTs are coming, and they're nothing you can stop it story because look at these band of whatever, the bad batch or the good batches in our situation, and look what they bought. People who have never had access to Christie's, and now I don't know what's the DAO number. Like, how many people are in it total?
Technically, it's just under 200.
I would like to find out the record for Christie's for the most people in a part of a bid.
I think I'm sure they have that figure because they either they're either dealing with individuals or corporations.
Yeah, but this could be as a third party grassroots formed within 72 hours of the auction. Woo!
Yeah. Well, and what I was going to say is, like, regardless of which one we get, it could be perceived as more valuable because we bought it.
True.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to be. It'll just be in a different class than any other of these clamp drawings because the original owners, hopefully the lifetime owners, but the original, the second owner, the original buyer was the actual community.
Even if we lose, there's a good chance it gets written up if this project goes really big. Like, we might have a paragraph even if we lose. So, because like Gary's crazy fans even rallied together and bid $200,000 on each piase.
Sure, like for whoever actually covers Christie's. Well, that's
the money in your wallet, and we can't lose. That was we can't lose. It's just a matter of how big we win at this point.
Yeah, that's the one thing that is not a regret, but it was just unfortunately not feasible. Is I was really hoping that we could bid as a company under the name VFam, but that's not what's happening. I will be an individual bidder, like Jeremy Hone is bidding at Christie's, and Christie's is sort of like unofficially aware how this is working.
Exactly. And that's something too, because that's another article. Can the community get along? Because technically, as somebody, we didn't do our due diligence as far as protecting ourselves. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of, and I trust you 100%, Jeremy, so I'm not worried about it. But typically in this situation, the media has the right to scrutinize, like, what is this Jeremy guy going to do? Because technically he's sitting on a big, giant asset. And at best, there's digital proof that these other people are part of it. So you have a chance to have people question your integrity and come through, which is good for yourself and the community. So I'm super proud of the position you put yourself in.
Thanks.
Oh yeah, your personal brand just went up, bro. So did your little Instagram thing that you do too. Yeah, you're balling, bro.
You know, ironically, this is the same week that I no longer am the largest VeeFriends fan page on Instagram.
Really?
Win some, lose some.
Yeah, the VeeFriends news has overtaken me. I'm partly because they're consistent, they're putting out good content, but also because Gary shared their content multiple times this week. And I'm happy for them. Like, I hope there's no misconception. That's amazing.
Yeah,
they deserve it.
It's also good for the community to spread around the W's.
Exactly.
That's true.
And VeeFriends news is just an aspect of what this whole thing is or is becoming.
Yeah, isn't that like the Sports Center, like the ESPN version of Sports Center for like NFT VeeFriends project?
You could call it that. I don't know if they would, but yeah.
Well, you know what I mean. It's like a show, right? It's like I think I've seen it once or twice. It's like a show kind of giving you updates, right? And it's a little bit more structured.
Yeah, a little bit. They share a lot of content. They're really quick on announcements, sharing announcements. And we kind of tag team that too. Like one of us will get to it first and then share the other's content. But they also do a lot of really good work of the purchase price and the sale price, and sort of like bringing attention to the profit that is being made by these folks. And they do interviews, and they have a TikTok. They're doing it, you know?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to, speaking of that, of news, do we want to
I think we should. I think we should. Full transparency. I typically have copious notes for this news, and I do not today. And there was so much. So we're just gonna do it live. Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Let's go.
And then so where sometimes we'll like to chat about it and like identify the big bites, and then I'll record it. I'm just gonna do it live, and then if afterward we discover I missed something critical, you guys can bring that to my attention. We'll add it to the podcast. So welcome back to the show. My name is Jeremy Hone. We've got a news show. What else rhymes with show? Welcome back to the show. My name is Jeremy. This is Jeremy Knows. And this is the weekly VCAP recorded live in the Let's VeeFriends Clubhouse every Wednesday night. I hope you will join us next week. We're having a grand old time discussing the VFam DAO, which will make a cameo appearance in this podcast. But it was a jam-packed week in VeeFriends. And why? Because Gary decided 3 days in a row to do an AMA answering big questions, little questions, his favorite movie, which is Spaceballs, by the way, and so much more. So I'm going to do my best to pack it into a digestible 10 or 15 minutes so that you don't have to have any FOMO about missing something within the VeeFriends universe. That's what I'm here for. Thank you for being a part of the community. Let's fucking go. Taking a breath. Taking a breath. Where I always ask myself before I hit this record button, where do we begin? Because if you're entrenched in this NFT space, you will be able to relate to me in the sense of complete time dilution. I know it's Wednesday only because we're in the clubhouse, but suddenly Mondays are Sundays and Friday doesn't even exist anymore. I can't even remember where we were last Wednesday, but I do know that we got a surprise announcement on Monday, which I guess was last Monday now. Geez, where even are we? The Sorcerer Scholarship announcement landed on Saturday, September 25th. And in the lead up to that, we learned that an unknown number of applicants advanced to the second round. We were curious to see if we would learn the results. Who are these 5 magical beings who have been selected for this once of a lifetime opportunity, direct mentorship from Gary Vee? That is not what we got on Saturday. Instead, every single applicant received an email with either a decline or an advancement into the next round. You can check the previous podcast for all of the details, but those who advanced were asked to submit a 60-second video saying what they would do with the money if they sold the token. And those who were declined got a really compassionate and compelling video from Gary Vee. And like, I don't need to like, whatever the word is, like, I don't need to brown nose Gary Vee. He doesn't listen to this podcast, but I can tell you as someone who has dedicated a significant portion of his dying life over the last 4 months to stand out in this contest and didn't make it, that having that 1 minute of Gary Vee explaining how difficult it was to sift through so many passionate stories, and knowing that at the very least, those who applied were able to really go there with themselves in a self-awareness sense and think about where they are and where they're going. I had already accepted the outcome, but my partner was pretty upset. And once she saw that video, she kind of grumbled, like, I can't be mad at him. He's just so empathetic and kind. So just another reminder that the person leading this project is a humanitarian beyond words. So thank you, Gary Vee, for your thoughtful decline message. And I'm going to stick it to you someday. Anyway, moving on. We had the Grills Gang PLP drop and an announcement of a new PLP project. So the Grills Gang launch, just like the Dapper Dinos launch, was ridden with controversy and hackers and scams. I will remind you to be very cautious. The direct messages on Discord are a minefield, and you will get messaged by scammers, and it's up to you not to fall for them. Many very educated and experienced people in the community were scammed, again, because of this, not because of Grills Gang, but during the Grills Gang drop. Big props to the team who quickly postponed it for a day and created a lot of lead time and verification to make sure there was an equitable process. There was a lot of controversy whether or not they did it the right way, but they did. They did what they could do. I don't know that I need to rehash this. It was like you could mint a free NFT that they said would have future utility, but was also a lottery ticket, but it wasn't enough to buy the NFT. You had to go into the Discord and verify through Collabland to get a specific role that revealed 3 channels where they gave announcements only to people with that role. Then they had a bot that you had to drop your wallet address for, which whitelisted you for a raffle. And then they raffled the remaining mints, 1 mint per winner, over the course of like 36 hours. So with a 1 hour slow mode, it was very frustrating when the bot didn't work. Nonetheless, Grills Gang did launch, revealed the floor is holding up at the pre-revealed price of about 0.45, and it's just getting started. I will remind you, and it may have happened this week, in fact, that Gary was asked what he thought of Dapper Dinos NFT. And his response was, I don't judge a project until 3 years after its launch. It's been a repeated theme in Gary's tweets, in his videos, and in his tone in the Discord that the fixation on quick profit is toxic and is ultimately going to be a detriment for many who are trying to navigate this space. I wish you patience, I wish you ease, and I wish you clarity with all of your decisions. Please never share your seed phrase. Please do not share your screen with anybody who is posing as an OpenSea support. There is no separate Discord server for VeeFriends support or MetaMask support. Be very mindful. The scams continue to get more and more sophisticated. On the day of the Grills Gang drop, we had the announcement of the third PLP project called The Drop. And The Drop is actually a character. So a fascinating aspect to this new PLP project that I haven't seen with many projects is it's centered around a singular character. There's 3 tiers of rarity: 2D art, 3D art, and 3D animation art. Different rarities, a lot of diverse artists brought together to collaborate and create derivatives of this drop character. It makes sense that Gary chose this because he's all about story and wants to be bullish on the creator. So the fact that this is centered around a central focal point IP character in The Drop makes sense that it stood out to Gary V. Highly recommend you check it out. Get the links from the VeeFriends Discord. There is a separate channel for PLP where all of the PLP announcement, you'll find them in the announcements channel. But if you want to find PLP stuff, go to the PLP channel. In case you forgot, VeeFriends Discord is the home of the VeeFriends NFT project. Anything and everything you need related to the project is there. And if you can't find it there, there's literally dozens of people who will help you out. So please use the resources available to you. As far as the details of the drop, we will not get 555 tokens. We will get 355. This will be an airdrop PLP, unlike the free mint from Grills. So in the Dapper Dinos fashion. And that will go to VeeFriends token holders. The last day to qualify for that snapshot is October the 9th. Snapshot will be taken on the 10th. The airdrop will happen on the 15th, and tokens from every rarity will find their way to VeeFriends wallets. Very exciting. And congratulations to everybody who was present in the Discord, saw the announcement, and made quick moves to purchase the already minted originals or Series 1, the lowest rarity of the drop collection, because the floor was sitting around 0.2, 0.3, and in a matter of about an hour after the announcement had skyrocketed above 1 ETH, where it has sustained at about 1.3. So just another example of how being present in the community provides dividends, and how Gary is doing his best for things both in his control and out of his control to not congratulate, to support. What's the word I'm looking for? To, you know, what the hell is this word? Just people who move fast get rewarded in the Gary V universe. That's what I want to say. So do your research. None of this is financial advice. I know people are out there just betting on PLPs because Gary's gotten the cosign. This is just your regularly scheduled reminder that copy trading Gary V is not advisable. It's not what he would recommend. And you never know his intentions when buying NFTs. And furthermore, there are dozens of projects that are making it look as though Gary's wallet has minted NFTs and then tweeting as though he's holding them when he hasn't actually gone and vetted that project and minted them. So whether they've transferred them or made it look like he's minted them, just because it's in Gary's wallet doesn't mean Gary's approved it. With the PLPs, it's a little different, but please do your own research. Only spend money you can afford to lose. Never share your seed phrase, yada, 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 on and on and on. Moving forward, VeeFriends.com. VeeFriends.com, the summer home, the internet getaway, the wonderful worldwide web hideout of the VeeFriends NFT project got a facelift this week. Developers Cameron Stewart and Eric Zetterson really did great work. If you haven't seen it, please go to the homepage. Now they've integrated the blog onto the homepage, so all of the text-based updates that we're getting for the PLP and VCon and all the rest are now directly accessible on the homepage. Also, they've added an API that tracks the floor price of different rarities. So if you go to VeeFriends.com, you can see what is the cheapest VeeFriend token for sale, buy it now on OpenSea in every rarity: core, rare, very rare, epic, spectaculars by each finish. So gold, diamond, hollow, lava. Somebody help me out. Gold, hollow, diamond, lava, bubblegum. And they also have a floor watcher for Go tokens, but just the core Go token. Really exciting. And there's a further Easter egg. If you haven't explored VeeFriends.com in the last month or so, there's a lot of fun things to see. You now have a profile. You can connect your wallet. You can change your picture, add a bio, connect your Discord and Twitter. You can sign up for email updates. Side note, gift goats. Say that 5 times fast. You can now go connect your wallet. The claim for your first gift has come out again. There was a sort of a technical thing. People filled out their mailing address and information, but they had to do it again. That service is now available to you. You can go, if you have a gift goat, to the VeeFriends.com, connect your wallet, and claim your gift. There's some nice confetti there when you do it, and we can't wait to see what you get. We are expecting that those first gift goats will land toward the end of October or the beginning of November. But recently, Gary came into the gift goat chat to say that there was a big development that changed the rollout of gift goats that was very good for folks. So if that isn't hype, I don't know what is. Back to the Easter eggs. Eric Zetterson has been the mastermind of this musical composition to your collection graph. So on your profile, you can see your collection in sort of a horizontal bar. It's like color coded. You can hover over and see your token, but they've done some kind of integration where if you scroll to the bottom, and this is only available on desktop, you can actually play the sound of your collection as the very, 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 very lucky black cat dances beside. And it seems like this is going to improve. There's a few buttons for hi-hat and drums and chords, and they're not all available right now, but you know, it's a banger. Maybe we'll play one at the end of this podcast. Next, I think we should talk about VeeFriends 2.0. I know we're highly anticipating another opportunity to buy into the VeeFriends IP. And the big question was when. Gary mentioned to stack ETH weeks ago, and we were wondering when. We now know roughly when it will be. 2022 was confirmed early in the week, but just a couple days ago, Gary confirmed Q1 of 2022. So we're looking at January 1st to March 31st. Q1 of 2022 is when the drop of the second VeeFriends collection will land. So we don't know what it is yet, but here's some things we do know. Number one, it will not be an open mint opportunity. There will be a limited supply. Number two, the price point will be $1,000 or less. And Gary's very committed to that, trying to make it less. Number three, you will be purchasing your VeeFriends 2 tokens in Ethereum, not in US dollars. Number four, there will not be a new artist brought on for the VeeFriends 2 art. Gary V will continue to be the single sole artist on VeeFriends collections. Number five, what else do we know? Gary was asked about if he'll be doing something to stop whales from buying up the whole collection. He didn't say how he would do this, but he said that he wouldn't let it happen, that VeeFriends 2 is going to give everyone a shot. Now, obviously, there's a contradiction there. If there's a limited supply, not everyone can get a shot, but it does seem like there's going to be some advanced whitelist or pre-sale for those who are active in the Discord. He went so far as to say this week, number 6, that it is likely holders of VeeFriends 1 will be able to pre-mint VeeFriends number 2. You can generally assume when I start to create a little more space between my words like that, I'm trying to figure out what's the next thing to say, but I'm not exactly sure. The last thing that we can say about VeeFriends 2 right now is there won't be many new characters. There may be one or a few, But we expect to see the same characters we saw in VeeFriends 1, maybe a second iteration. Maybe it'll be the same thing. Maybe it'll be amalgamations of the two. But Gary confirmed again a comment that he made in the beginning of May that this is his play. The 268 characters that he drew and released and minted for his first project is his IP play. And there may be some limited stuff, one of ones, one of 15s here and there as serendipity happens, but very few and far between. And this is what he is going with. It's a perfect transition into VeeFriends 1.5. So we have been referring to the 12.5 book gift NFT that people will receive via airdrop for every 12 books that they purchased pre-sale between August 24th and 25th, affectionately as VeeFriends 1.5. We got confirmation this week of a couple things. Number one, this is going to be a VeeFriends branded NFT. We don't know if it's going to be these teaser drawings he's been putting out on Twitter, of which there have been many, but I think it is likely. He did confirm this week that there will be different characters, there will be different rarities. He was asked, what's the benefit of having more? And his response was more chances. So it's possible there will be some golden tickets within this collection, because remember, we also got a confirmation that there have been more than 1 million books confirmed sold during that promotional period, which puts the supply of this VeeFriends 1.5 collection in the ballpark of 100,000 tokens. So I, for one, am really hoping that they will introduce some kind of burn mechanism, perhaps an incentive. You burn 3 and you get a VeeFriends 2 mint pass. That's just pure speculation. But they have to drive demand somehow. And by putting some golden tickets in there, you know, one of ones, access to Gary V, or having various rarities, having an incentive for getting a full collection, of which will likely be 13. I think all of that is on the table. We will be getting an email if you are participating in this VeeFriends 1.5. You will be getting an email on October 1st, or maybe the week of October 1st, verifying the wallet that you want the token airdrop to, as well as the number of tokens you're receiving. Remember, if your credit card company flagged your exorbitant purchase of a single book as a fraud, that you need to repurchase those books, go back to garyvee.com/book and resubmit your new purchase receipt. Most of the FAQs are on that website, garyvee.com/book. And we anticipate those books to ship on November 16th, with the NFT dropping a few weeks later, mid to late December. See, again, I was trying to find what's going to happen next. Let's take a breath, shall we? Whew. That was 17 minutes, and I'm sure there's more. I paused the recording for a sec. What am I forgetting?
Have you said anything about Christie's? I feel like that's been said, but I don't know.
I mentioned it at the very beginning. That was actually the next thing that came to mind, but I wanted to say that last. There's a couple little bits and bytes from the AMA, but I haven't had the time to like fully break down the AMAs, so I don't have a clean list of what that is. I feel like there's something obvious that I'm forgetting.
Were you going to speak more about the people who got the email? Because I think you touched on it pretty thoroughly.
Yeah, I did a full podcast on the scholarship thing.
Right.
Okay, I guess we'll talk about the DAO then. Okay, I'm gonna record again. While I have a moment, let me just weekly intro, weekly news, 929. Thanks for sticking around, folks. This podcast is a little longer than usual, and I can almost guarantee that I forgot something significant, but I will do my best to recap it in the future podcast. I'm going to shift gears now to what is the biggest event on the horizon, and that is 2 days from now on October 1st at 10 a.m. There will be 5 original art pieces by Gary Vee auctioned at Christie's. Reminder about what's going on. These are not the NFTs. These are the original art that Gary had clamped and authenticated by PSA. The 5 characters will be auctioned off one at a time, going to the highest bidder in this order. The empathetic elephant, followed by the gratitude gorilla, the diamond hands hen, the you're gonna die fly, and lastly, the tremendous tiger. Gary actually visited Christie's earlier today with some of the crew, Andy Craniac, Dustin, and others. And I mean, I think we're all just so happy for him. He's one of the things that he's repeated to say about these Christie's opportunity is that this is such a big deal for his parents, that they loved Christie's and could never have imagined that their son would be there to auction art. And here he is making history, changing the world. The community is also making history and changing the world. If you follow me on Twitter, you may have noticed on the day of the Christie's announcement, I put out a tweet and I said, here's a wild idea. What if we all pooled our money together and made a serious 6-figure bid to win the art at Christie's? A lot of people responded to that. It received 3 or 4 dozen comments. And within 24 hours, there was a channel in my Discord called Christie's where we were starting to discuss this possibility and how could we formally create a DAO in a responsible and equitable fashion. We were talking with a smart contract developer. There were maybe 6 to 20 people in the room at any given time. And we did a few AMAs on Twitter Spaces and decided that given a 2-week lead time, that we could not responsibly launch a on-chain DAO and answer all the questions that we didn't have answers to in that time, and realized we didn't need a proper DAO to bid. We just simply needed a multi-signature wallet. There's a smart contract called the Gnosis Safe that allows for multiple wallets to be authorized to sign for transactions on a single wallet address. And so things started to move. By September 20th, we had our first official meeting in my Discord at 12 p.m. Eastern time. I think about 24 people were there. And we realized that this was going to be a, I don't know how to describe, a complicated process. You know, there's tax liability, there's legal ramifications. Do we need to incorporate it as an LLC and all the rest? Not to mention wanting to be able to communicate to people what they would really be getting into should this happen. So I'm burying the lead a little bit. But after 7 days, a core group of 2 or 3 dozen of us met daily and created a Google form, which was designed to thoroughly educate and inform folks on what this opportunity is that is now known as the VFam DAO. To be clear, it is not yet a DAO. It is our intention to do many things in the way of a formal DAO, of liquidity options for investors, buying high-value NFTs should we outbid at Christie's, which I don't think anybody is confused as the most likely situation. But it has really caught fire in the last 4 days as we've opened up for contributions. And for the purpose of this podcast, I will withhold the amount that is currently in the community wallet, but it has almost quadrupled in the last 24 hours through the community excitement and belief, not only in, frankly, me, but more so the passion and the potential of this community. For me, I think this is a logical next step. Whether we win or lose, we've already won in this endeavor. We now have more than 6 figures of buying power to bid up whoever's interested in these pieces. And we are going to fight tooth and nail on Friday to take home one of these Gary V original artworks. Sadly, by the time you hear this podcast, the contribution form will have already been closed. A good reason why you should follow Let's VeeFriends Clubhouse and join us live. But I wanted to let you know that history is in the making. I know many of you listening are already a part of this. And even if you missed out on this first round, please do join what was formerly my Discord, what is now the VFam DAO Discord. I think many are interested in creating a second contribution window for the rest of the community. And if you don't know what a DAO is, then it's a great opportunity to get educated as well. I don't know what else to say. I'm truly speechless by the way that people have cooperatively worked together. I mean, over the last 10 days, we've decided how to vote, how we propose a vote, how to appeal a vote, who should be leading the task forces, who should be authorized on the wallet, on and on and on, doing our best to take care of the community. And I guess since hearing this now, it's too late to submit your contribution form. I'll just take this opportunity to thank all of those who have supported me as I put my time toward this, and those who are in the community supporting each other. I'm getting a funny feeling right now that I'm going to listen to this podcast in a year and look back on it having no idea what kind of journey we were beginning together. It is very exciting to be going into sort of a formal agreement with the community on some very serious blue sky goals. I can't wait to have those difficult conversations and literally make history. Literally make history. We were just joking before I started recording that it's very likely that some publication is going to do a write-up when we win one of these art pieces at Christie's. So I'm extremely bullish. Words will fail. I think that's the podcast. Look out. We're going to live stream the Christie's auction on my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/VeeFriends. As always, please do let me know what you thought of the podcast. Hit me up on Instagram at wannabeaVFriend. I changed my Twitter handle to Jeremy Knows VF. And we also have VFamDAO.com. And for all things related to my VeeFriends project, wannabeaVFriend.com. If you're out there and you listen to this podcast, but you don't engage with the Clubhouse community, or I don't see you on Twitter or Instagram, please let me know. Reach out to me. I want to know who you are and how you found this podcast, and also virtually shake your hand for being a part of this community. I'm rambling now. You got the information. Let's wrap it up. My name's Jeremy. This has been the weekly VCAP on Jeremy Knows. And I'll see you tomorrow.
Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's a super exciting week.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't even say Heart Trooper number 7.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh, you know what? I wanna give people one of these VeeFriends audios. Have you guys heard this? The VeeFriends soundtrack, or the sound of your collection?
Just through yours. I wasn't completely sure what happened.
It's pretty ridiculous. I'm gonna go to Aiden Tag's collection because he's got a lot. I have to change my mic setting on Clubhouse so you guys can hear this. Audio settings, input. Here we go. I'm going to test this with you guys before I record it. Can you hear this? Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Great. All right. I'm going to record it. All right, one more segment because I did the outro wrong and I also promised you a banger. So here is the sound of Aiden Tag's The VeeFriends collection on VeeFriends.com. Is anybody else like holding in a laugh? Like I can't. This is something else. see. You can take out, I can add the kick, or I can take it out. I can add the hi-hat. I can add the bass. Ah. So all these buttons do work. Here are the chords. A little dissonant there. Hope you enjoyed that. Here's the outro again. I'm Jeremy, the Heart Trooper number 7. This was the weekly VCAP on Jeremy Knows. And as always, I will see you tomorrow. All right, now we're done.
Woot woot.
Woot.
Nice one. Everybody, you can jump in if you want to. This is, if you're not familiar with the show, this is when everybody can just flash their mics or jump in. Where recording's over, party can start.
I'm surprised that during recording, there's not somebody who's like trying to mess with me or distract me ever. I'm not saying.
Hey, Jeremy, I have a question for you.
Hey, what's up? Who's that? CC?
Yeah, I
Hey.
sent you a message. I didn't want to bug you, but quick question is, if I wanted to have 2 separate accounts like we were talking about and send it to the DAO, do I need to fill out the form twice, or just send 2 different addresses and then just DM you?
No, just DM me so I can flag it. It's going to take more than a day for sure to figure out the proportions for everybody. You're not the only one who's sending from 2 wallets. Many people, after seeing the excitement and other folks contributing, have sent from their wallet twice. So just DM me so I can flag it, and I will probably ask you to tell me again next week.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't care about that percentage. Take your time, but I just want to make sure to get it to you before the deadline. Thank you.
Thank you. But P.S. I do have a hard out in 15 minutes.
So get in your questions, guys, if you got them, or just your feels. Let's get price predictions. That's always fun.
It's so hard to predict.
I'm guessing the elephant goes for around $1 million, and everything else goes for around 600K. That's mine.
Wow.
That is solid.
I think the fly is only going to go for like 150.
Oh, I disagree. Hardly.
Maybe you got some fly tea that I don't know about.
Well, we could bid that, so it can't go for that.
Or it could.
I have a question.
Yes.
Oh, we could. Yeah, go for it.
Does Jeremy or anybody in here, do you guys know what the tax ramifications are of this scenario? Because that's the part for me that just, in my heart of hearts, and just that's the part that gets muddy for me, is the legal and tax ramifications.
Yeah, for the DAO or for the individual?
Both, since it's going to be the individual that's responsible and the DAO that is, but it's not a DAO. It's a DAO, not DAO, right?
Yeah, it's not yet a DAO.
I think whether or not we fight afterwards is the story. Because it's technically, if we didn't go by the book and hire all the lawyers and got the contracts first, then get the money, we got the money and said, we'll figure this out. And that's traditionally where business goes wrong. And 99 times out of 100, I would never dare. This is something where I personally took my values and threw them out the window and said, no, this group is different. And, I'm willing to take a chance on some basically put together by some young people situation. But I get her concerns because I had them. I just took a calculated risk on it.
So we did bring lawyers in, and we have talked to CPAs. So we spent the whole week actually really digging into that. So I'll let Jeremy talk, but I do think we have a decent understanding of at least the basic mechanics of what's going to happen up front for the organization and for Jeremy. That was part of having it shipped to another state, was to avoid some of those extra taxes. But there was a lot of conversation about that.
Is there a brief way to say, like, how it, like, maybe an example of how it would affect, each individual. Maybe we just start there. How are we doing it? Like, what's the thoughts on that tax wise? Not this from the DAO, but like, let's say from me, Jacob, like, what's the tax implications? Have you figured that out or gone into it, or is that posted anywhere?
If you could just give me one more minute so I can put out this podcast. Anchor has added a new function where you can add a question or a poll on Spotify. I won't do it right now.
Dang.
But like, that's kind of like, I just don't know what I would poll people of. Yeah, I'll say, is this your first time listening to the podcast?
Also, too, can somebody sell me a VFam DAO logo? Because I Googled it and couldn't find anything. So I don't know how you guys get a hold of them.
It's in the logo challenge channel in Discord.
Yeah, and for now, just pull up like one of ours and snap, do a screenshot and edit it down, and just for quicks, and then just put it right in there as your avatar.
Thank you.
You're super welcome. All right, so let's talk taxes. The podcast is out, by the way. Actually, I always forget to do this, but I'm going to tweet this really quick. Let's say this week was tremendous, and Christie's is in 2 days. 2 hours remain to join the VeeFamDAO.com. Easy peasy. Tag Gary and tag VeeFriends and tag Let's VeeFriends. Cool. If you guys want to retweet this, that would be much appreciated. It's out now, and I'll talk about taxes. So, Julie, thank you for the question. It's of critical importance. And let me preface by saying that part of the contribution form asks people to acknowledge that they are responsible for their own tax reporting. And it's been expressed in different meetings that we want to, have CPAs in the room and provide resources to people for how to claim taxes on this investment. But that will sort of be a due diligence thing, not proper tax advice, and that each person should consult their own personal accountant, and that we should dedicate the meeting time to taxes required on the DAO's behalf. That being said, there are a couple of taxable events that come up. When you contribute to the DAO, your contribution is taxable in the same way that buying an NFT is. And the reason for that is because in terms of best guidance, the IRS has not given a true guidance on, this sort of thing, or really NFTs. But there is a guidance that most tax lawyers are referring, and I say most, I'm quoting somebody else who I trust their advice. The best guidance is the foreign exchange tax, meaning if you make an investment of a painting with euros in a different country, that is seen as an investment, and you have to pay taxes relative to dollars. So like, even though the blockchain sees it as just a simple transfer, it's not the disposal that you see when buying an NFT. The best guidance that we have right now is that the IRS will see it as a disposal, and that you will be taxed on the US dollar value of your contribution. Most people will luck out. I mean, everybody has a different situation. Some people have been holding ETH for a long time, but most people will luck out in that they've acquired their ETH in the last week to a month from buying it or selling NFTs, and Ethereum is down right now. So if you acquired it a week ago, you won't have capital gains on your contribution because you sold it at a loss, technically. From there, I have significant tax exposure because let's say we win and we get an art piece for $150,000. Well, the CPA which we spoke to suggested that this should not fall under the gift tax category because it's an investment. And if a gift tax, because like people aren't gifting to the DAO, they're investing in the DAO, right? But ultimately, should we win, whatever amount is needed to process the payment to Christie's will be sent from the multi-signature wallet to my personal wallet, actually to my personal Coinbase, where I will then dispose that ETH to Christie's. So if the payout for that purchase has to happen within 24 hours, basically after the hammer price, not sure if it'll be at the time of the hammer or the valuation at close of day, like Etherscan keeps track of. But within 24 hours, or before 24 hours, after the hammer price, they will take a snapshot of the price of ETH and give a bill in an ETH valuation. So the bid will happen in US dollars. Let's say it gets up to 150. Then the ETH value will be, 50 whatever ETH. And they will send me an invoice for that. The DAO will send that ETH to me, which is not a taxable event. Because it's just a simple transfer. And then I will personally dispose that ETH. If, God forbid, ETH spikes 10% between the time that ETH is sent to me and I send it to Christie's, I am liable personally for the short-term capital gains realized there. If during the time that I receive it, between then and when I send it from Coinbase to Christie's, then I will not have any taxes on that event because I will be having sold it at a loss. Moving forward from there, to the best of my knowledge, the taxable event will not happen until profit is taken. And there's not currently a mechanism in place for that profit to be taken. So some things that we're discussing, but we just haven't had it's not that we haven't had the time. We've put time into the Christie's logistics in lieu of the time sensitive nature of it, is like, can you sell your share to someone? If you sell your share at the same price, then it's not taxable. But if you sell it at a profit, then it is taxable. We don't currently have a mechanism for that, but we're discussing issuing fractional NFTs. Like, let's say we win the piece, we could mint an NFT which represents the authenticity of that piece, and then put that into a vault and then fractionalize that. The thing we have to be careful about is the securities laws. So we're going to want to be very diligent with lawyers before we make any of those moves. But luckily, we don't have to make those moves very quickly. One, because people understand that this is a long-term investment. And two, because we need to establish together what our medium and long-term goals are before we do anything. It'll be much easier to have a productive conversation about which revenue option to pursue, or which high value NFT to buy, or which DeFi protocol to interact with, if we know exactly, as specifically as possible, what those goals are. Eventually, we will see capital gains, hopefully long-term capital gains for contributors as different profit is taken in different ways. Like, we're not looking to sell the asset in the short term. We're looking to sell it or maybe never sell it. However, we are looking to generate revenue somehow. So the DAO will be responsible for income taxes. Where the CPA needs to give us clarity, which we don't know the answer to, is if the DAO makes $100,000 in revenue, it makes sense that the organization will be liable for the income taxes there. Like, if you're an artist and you make an NFT project, you have to pay income taxes on the Ethereum that you receive, for example. What's not clear is like, how do I say, for the contributors, whether or not they're on a legal structure paperwork that would make them part of that income tax. So I don't think that's going to be the case. And there's still a lot of questions about how this is formalized in a legal structure. If we do a technical DAO only, a Wyoming DAO LLC, some kind of 501c6, we don't know.
Can a DAO be a nonprofit?
I think that's possible. Yeah, I don't see why not.
I do too, and I think you could set it up as a nonprofit, and then your capital gains will be based on any businesses this DAO interacts with, and therefore they can make profit, but this entity never plans on making any money or showing a profit. You have to talk to the accountant about it, but I vaguely think I've heard of this in another scenario.
Yeah, that's possible.
where-
I mean, if that
that's-
was going to be the case, I think we would have to establish multiple incorporations and have a nonprofit wing and a for-profit wing. Because I
That's
don't.
the part that gets, the part that gets muddy for me is the terminology used: gifting, investing. Investing would imply a return, but you sign a waiver or you're check marking that you're not expecting a return. So it's considered a donation. So between gifting, donation, investing, no return, it's not refundable, but it's not really a 501c3. But so to me, it just, I don't mean to sound salty because I'm just asking these questions. It
No,
just
not at
sounds
all.
really, really, really muddy. And to me, Jeremy, I'm going to just go on the record by saying, I hope you and everybody else makes $1 million on making this happen. I'm getting caught up in the tax ramifications and the terminology of gifting, investing, not returned. You have to make a donation. If the tax man comes, we're all kind of like, I don't know. It just seems like there's a lot of unanswered things that it's just, I don't know. So I want to go on record by saying I hope everybody makes a lot of money, and that it's just it just is still oddly confusing to me. So that's making me have a hesitation.
No, I think that's great, and I mean, I think we want more voices like that in the room. I'm not trying to suggest we have the answers. In terms of the muddiness of the language, we're not established as a 501c3, so we can't accept donations. So you can't apply any tax ramifications of donations like deductibility to what it is. It's an investment. It's basically a seed round. When I say it's non-refundable, we're communicating that there's not a situation where you can participate for Christie's only, because we decided early on that the logistics of that were just not worth the time to send people back. You just have some people who are in for the future, some people who are in just for Christie's. Now we've made a particular exception for folks who have significant funds, have bought into the DAO long-term, and have this assist on hand as sort of an open equity if it means a winning bid. But for anyone under 5 Ethereum, it's not available. You're contributing to the DAO. You're not contributing to the Christie's bid, but the first action of the not yet DAO is competing at the Christie's bid. And as far as the other word you mentioned, so we're using the word contributions. We are very aware of the securities ramifications and wanting to avoid that, which it seems actually, I don't have the language in front of me, but we're doing some research that there's something about, so long as there's proportional stake, that we can avoid being seen as a security, which I hope is true. We have to speak to a lawyer and all the rest. There was another word you mentioned I wanted to address. The promise of profit. Yeah. The promise of profit is simply that we're not trying to make $1 million. I would like that too, but that's not
guaranteeing that. That's also that's a big part. Yeah,
it may be possible for us to turn. I mean, I think let's set the Christie's auction aside. If we lose, I don't think anybody has doubts that we can turn what is presently $272,000. I think it's possible that we could 4x that to $1 million, sure. But we're not saying that that's our goal. We haven't established that, and that's sort of beside the point. What the point of that line is this is a high risk investment, like anything in the NFT space. We don't want people to be putting in 0.1 or 1.1 thinking that they're going to be able to get a quick return on this.
Or any return. This is really this is risk on top of risk. And this is, just to clarify that.
Yeah, no, if anyone did a disclaimer on this, no lawyer would recommend you to go in on this. Just so you guys know what you may or may not be involved in. And when I did this, and I put a whole ETH in, so yeah, and I realized I might never see it again. I didn't do it for the investment, thinking, "Oh, I put an ETH. I hope to get 2 ETH someday." I did it as a market disruption move as the potential to go viral and some other fringe benefits. In other words, just what happens by spending the money is the value. But I don't know if a lot of other people looked at it in that particular way. And I would say if we don't win the art, you should probably put like a 30 to 45 day freeze on decisions and then really give people a chance to understand what they're involved in, and they get out, and then if they stay in, they're in it. So that's just my opinion.
Yeah, that's interesting.
45 days is like a lifetime in this space.
Yeah, I would personally.
Dude, that's like I'm gonna be like dead by then.
This is just an opinion. This, just to clarify, this is Orion's opinion, and the deep technical parts of this may not be great for just to be a mod. Great to dive into at the end of a VCAP. So I'm just saying that out here, and so maybe if we could get to the answer the most questions for the most people, maybe that's a goal.
That's a good idea, Jacob, especially because I'm expecting a hard out. Like basically as soon as my wife gets home, my fiance gets home, I need to go. So thank you for the question. And Julie, please, I would like to give Julie a moment to respond if she wants. But
thanks. I really appreciate it. Sometimes in these rooms, when you ask really very poignant, clear, thought-provoking questions, they can come off being salty. And I don't want it to become, because I'm going to say it straight up. I want everyone to stay friends, and I want everyone to make a lot of money, however that shakes down. I just don't want to, see something shake up the apple cart too. I don't want to see anybody lose money, and I don't want to see anybody lose friends.
Yeah, I don't see it as salty at all personally, and I think it's exactly the kind of critical tone we need for every decision we make. And I guess I will also add that this was our best due diligence. Making this form so that people were educated and their expectations were set so that we could have the leeway.
There can even be an argument that people made a decision under duress because of how close it was to the auction. I mean, just so if you want to get murky, we can get really, really murky if we want to do.
Sure.
Well, okay. So this wasn't a legally binding decision. This was just a disclosure to help inform. So that just to put maybe a pin in to say made a decision under duress, but that's what a Google form that you just click through is not a legally binding decision.
Yeah.
But I see the FOMO is a thing. So yes.
Folks, I'm sorry I can't stick around and answer more questions. I have to run. My direct messages are open. I am not the single voice of this DAO. There are 200 people who are a part of it, and at least 50 or more who are highly educated and can answer questions about it. And in the Discord. Yeah, get in the Discord. Like, to reiterate, like, the last thing I want to create is some FOMO for people about this opportunity. I want, at the same token, I want as many people to get involved as possible, and I wish I had more time to go one-on-one to many people who are in this room who are important to me and who I haven't had the time to connect with one-on-one. But it was just the nature of this specific fast-paced organization, and I guess all I can say is that we're doing our absolute best with the best guidance we could gather to take care of each other and set up something for the long term that would benefit everybody. And that's a difficult prospect when we're talking about a multiple 100-person organization. So I expect it to be difficult, and I look forward to working through that. I'm sorry I have to sort of run on that note, but I'm really grateful for everyone who's here. And yes,
super appreciate you, Jeremy.
Yeah, we
super
do.
Appreciate you. Very well put, and I do believe that you have the best of intentions, and somehow, some way, this is going to work out.
Yes. Yeah, I know that to be true. I know that to be true, actually.
And Yeah, someone added up the hours before or during our meeting today. I believe it was like over 5,000 hours of collective time has been put into this.
Oh wow!
With
counting for
the
each
amount of
person.
people.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. So I don't really think this has necessarily been rushed, but I know that getting out the word has taken some time. But I'm very, very grateful that everyone has tried to help, spread the word so that hopefully, even if people don't want to be in, they have the chance not to.
Yeah, right. So I've got to run. I'll probably be back on in like a couple hours. So if you need me, I will do my best to get back to you before I go to bed tonight. I've got a lot of messages to get through, and I'll do my best. So on that note, I love you, and I will
have a good
see
night.
you soon. Good night.
Night.
All right. Thank you, Twitch. I love you. I love you. I love you. It was a great stream. What a different energy now to the beginning, that sort of frantic, so much is going on energy. I think I've said everything I needed to say. And I believe as well that all the details will be worked out as necessary. There are a lot of brilliant minds in the community coming together, and I have the utmost confidence that we'll all be good. We take care of each other. It's just one of those guiding principles. One day, soon enough, we'll vote on it. Really looking forward to it. Like I said, I'll be back on in a couple hours. I've got a couple surprises coming up in the next. I've got some surprises for you. So we'll be back. Peace out. As always.